Hi, I'm Cathy. You may recognize my hands from previous videos, but you probably don't recognize my face. I am not comfortable in front of a camera, and it has taken a pandemic for me to finally film facing the camera. In April, I offered a class to my customers called my a la carte card class. And they were to match up with me 4 different stamp sets. And I had 4 people sign up, and it took 14 projects to get us to match up so that they could get their kits. So I have a lot of projects that are going to be coming up on my channel in the next couple of days. This introduction will be on each and every one of them, but it will, down in the bottom here, show you the minute mark of where you can skip this introduction and go on to the card making. They will be put in a playlist called April a la carte card class. That's so hard to say. And each one will have that description, the person who signed up for the card, and the stamp set. And that way, as you're making your projects, you can just go to your 4 projects. Those of you that are just watching to get inspiration, you're welcome to look at any and all of them. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay healthy and safe during this pandemic, and hope that we can all begin to get back together stamping very soon. Okay, this card is for both Marie and for Denise. And I just really kind of fell in love with this card. As I was making it, I thought it was a perfect one for us women who are either going through breast cancer or, as in my case, surviving breast cancer. And so this is the card. It is using the Bird Ballad laser cut cards and tin, which is these beautiful laser cut cards. And that is retiring, so get those before then if you want to make more of these cards. We're using the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set and the dies. And the dies we'll be using are just the florals, these 2 pieces here. This flower and this flower we'll be using, and then also the thinking of you and this sentiment here about the journey of life. So let's get started. Okay, for cardstock, you will need the laser cut card here and its envelope. I got 2 envelopes here. So this is what it looks like. Then you'll need a piece of petal pink that measures 4 3/16 by 5.5. A piece of Very Vanilla. This measures 4 by 5 1/4 only because I have these pre-cut, and that's about what we're going to need for the die cutting. And then some Very Vanilla for the rectangles, a piece that's 2 inches by 5 inches. You can get these both cut off of. And the two that you'll be using is this second one here for this one, and then this one here for that one. So those are the 2 die cuts that you need from the stitched rectangles. And then you'll need 6.5 inches of the Petal Pink Metallic Edge ribbon. This is back in stock. It was out of stock for a while, but it is retiring, so you'll want to get that soon. As far as ink, you will need Memento ink, and then I used the blends. And the blends that I did use are the Light and Dark Mossy Meadow, the Dark Daffodil Delight, the light Flirty Flamingo, the light Petal Pink, and the Color Lifter. So on this piece, I'm going to go ahead and ink up, and I'm going to kind of cut this apart. So the first one is I'm just going to need the flower itself, and then this leaf down here. So I'm going to just kind of concentrate on getting that part of this. And I'm going to stamp it over here on the right-hand side, just like that, okay? And then for this leaf here, I'm going to try and get one of this one. And so I'll just be inking that up. And I'm going to place it down here, making sure that I'm not overlapping this at all. Just like that. Oh, didn't get that top section. Good enough. And then finally, I need this flower for on the inside. So I'm going to ink that up and stamp it here. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and color these. The Daffodil Delight is for the center here. So I'm going to go ahead and just color that in. And then what I liked was taking the fine tip of the light Flirty Flamingo and just kind of going at the base just a little bit and along these bend lines. And then where you would imagine there would be a shadowing of this flower petal folding over. So I'm just going to go along like this. And again, here's a shadow. And then at the base, another shadow. Along here. These are behind, so we want to get them just about like that, right? And I'm going to, instead of coloring on camera, I'm just going to show you this one I did of this flower. So down here at the base, along the outside edge of these petals, and here. And that's all I did in the Flirty Flamingo. Then I came back with the light Petal Pink. And I'm going to go over that. And I'm not going to color the whole flower. I'm just going to kind of go in those same areas as the pink, but a little bit more of the area, if that makes any sense whatsoever. Just a little bit more. And then I'll catch these other spots that I didn't do with the Flirty Flamingo, these shadowing areas. Just like that. And then I'm going to come back with the lifter and kind of go over the entire thing with the lifter. And it does change the color of the cardstock just a little bit to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but as you can see, this side looks different than this. This has a yellowing to it. And I don't know if it then, when it dries, if that's all going to go away. But it seemed to me that it did make a little bit of a change to it. And I liked the coloring it gave. Okay, so that's the flower. And then on the leaves themselves, I'm going to take the dark and just kind of, again, trace along the shadows and the creasing and the vein lines of the leaf. Okay, and then all the way down the center vein line. Then I'll come back and color in. Now on the retiring list, you'll notice that the blends are listed, and all of them are listed. They are not retiring. They are being reconfigured and issued new numbers. So that's why it's showing up the way it is. They will no longer be sold in individual markers. They are just going to be sold in pairs. So if you order the Mossy Meadow, you're going to get both of them together for the $9 as opposed to being able to get them separately. So if you have one that you use a lot right now, you may want to consider ordering it before it goes out of stock, retiring on June 2nd. So I'm going to just kind of color lower down here just in case. So these are ready to be die cut. So I'm going to go ahead off camera and do that, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so as you can see, what I've done is cut out this one, the hole, just like this. And then this one that I stamped, just cut that out, and then also cut the flower out. So I'm going to take this one here and get some scissors, and I'm going to trim right along the flower itself. Keeping that same amount of a mat on it. And we're going to cut that leaf off just like that and hang on to that. And then these others, we're going to go ahead and cut them off so that we end up with just the flower. And really nobody will even know that you've cut all that off. Okay, so on this leaf, I'm going to go ahead and smooth out this. And because the base of it's all going to be hidden, I'm just going to whack that off. And then on this one, I'm just going to go ahead and whack those off the bottom because we don't need them. So let's do the stamping on these two pieces. And I'm using Mossy Meadow ink for that. Which I need to go grab. I'll be right back with you. Sorry about that. I'm videotaping several kits today and had the ink in one of the other kits. All right, so the Thinking of You will be on this little one here. And then on this one will be this other sentiment about the journey of life. There we go. Okay. So now that we have all our pieces, we're going to put this card together. So as you can see, this piece will fit just on here and allow it to close. So what I did was took some liquid glue and ran it on the outside here, just like that. And then I'm going to touch just a couple of spots in the center, right there and right there. Just this spot where there's quite a bit of paper. It looks like just those three. took this and placed it up at an angle like this and used the back of the cardstock to kind of catch it, and then just closed it. And then reopened the back and made sure that the glue wasn't coming out at all here. And as you can see, it fits perfectly in there, not hanging over the outside edges at all. So it's ready to go. Okay, so on the front, I'm going to use some dimensionals. But first I'll go ahead and put down the 2 leaves, but to figure out exactly where I want them to sit, I will use my flower to line it up. And just about like that. That one looks good where it is. This one I'll probably want to come out just a little bit more, like that. So now I'll move that out of the way and get my adhesive. Go ahead and use the liquid adhesive. Kind of note where it is. And place that here. Take this one. And place it here. And put some dimensionals on the back. I love using up absolutely every single bit of my dimensionals. So put some of these on here like that. Come on. There we go. And put our flower just right there, making sure that I'm not sticking out either on the top or the bottom. Then for our thinking of you, I'm going to take my ribbon and create my loop. And I'm going to place that at the back, just like that. Turn it around. And using these outside edge dimensionals, that's what I will hold the ribbon in place with. And just different places here. Just like that. And place it here. I made my loop a little bit larger on this one, so the thinking of you had to come down a little bit. And then as you can see, my tails are not matching. So I'm going to go ahead and make them match by going this way, and then I'll shorten that one up just a little bit. And there we go for the outside of the card. Now the inside of the card's real simple. I'm just going to adhere this piece down inside. And then the same thing with this one. Now, you could do something like place this up here, which I think would be really pretty. You could place it over here, or like I did in the other one, you could place it here. So I think on this one, I'm going to place it over on this side. Make it a little different from my other sample. And you get to put it wherever you want to. So I'm going to place it right down like that. So there is the card for both Denise and Marie using the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set.